All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about a huge challenge for a lot of language learners, that leap you have to make from just, chatting with friends to writing a really solid academic paper. It's all about closing that gap between everyday fluency and real academic skill.
So it really all comes down to this one question, right? What's the actual difference? And it's not just about using bigger words, no way. It's all about structure, about being precise and being able to weave complex ideas together in a really sophisticated way. It's a whole other ballgame.
Just look at this example here. On the left, you've got two simple, separate facts, kind of choppy. But look at the right. Those exact same ideas are now woven together to show a relationship, contrast, and consequence. That tiny shift, adding words like although or which is why, is what takes everyday language and turns it into academic thinking. That's the heart of what we're getting at today.
So, here's our roadmap. First, we'll dig a little deeper into this academic gap. Then, we'll check out a modern video-first solution, and we'll break down its core grammar pillars, take a look at the anatomy of a lesson, and finally, uncover the secret sauce that makes this whole thing work so well.
Okay, first up, a video-first solution. The approach we're looking at is a modern e-learning curriculum, and it's built to tackle this specific challenge head-on. This isn't about teaching English from square one. It's about adding those sophisticated, high-level skills onto a foundation that's already there.
And the target audience is super specific: advanced high school ESL students. So we're talking about learners who've already got the basics down cold. Now they need the tools to really shine in academically tough situations, like getting ready for college or taking advanced classes.
And how does it work? Well, the methods are designed for how we learn today. Forget the dusty old textbook. This uses dynamic video modules and cool animated scenarios to make abstract grammar ideas feel totally real. And, crucially, it's all about practical, hands-on exercises. You're not just watching, you are doing. You're an active participant.
So what are these building blocks of sophisticated writing? Well, this curriculum zeroes in on three key pillars of grammar. These are the essential structures that hold up complex academic arguments.
The first pillar, conditionals. This is where students learn to talk about nuance, to go beyond simple facts. Using sentences like, if this happens, then that will happen, lets you create hypotheses, make predictions, and explore possibilities, all skills you absolutely need for academic work. Next up is the passive voice. Now, I know, this one sometimes gets a bad rap in everyday writing, but in science and other formal settings, it's a game changer. It lets the writer put the focus on the action, not the person doing it. Think about a lab report. The experiment was conducted. That's the standard, and it's for a very good reason.
And finally, the third, and maybe the most important pillar of all, complex sentences. Honestly, this is the glue that holds everything together. When you master things like subordinate clauses, you can connect ideas to show cause, effect, contrast. You're turning a list of simple statements into a powerful, logical argument.
To really see how this all works in practice, let's do a little deconstruction. We're going to pull apart one of the video lessons. This one's on complex sentences. It's called Crafting Cohesion, and it'll show us the teaching method in action.
You'll notice every lesson is built on this simple but really effective four-part structure. You start with the main idea, you immediately practice it, you see how it's used in the real world, and then you get a final challenge to really make that skill your own. It's a clear and powerful learning journey. So, step one. The lesson kicks off with a really simple and powerful metaphor: building blocks. Through animation, it shows how simple sentences are like individual Lego bricks, and conjunctions are the things that snap them together to build a strong, complex structure. It makes a tricky grammar concept feel totally intuitive.
Next up, you get your hands dirty with direct practice. Students are given simple sentences, like, he studied hard and he passed the exam, and they have to combine them. They have to pick the right connector, in this case, because, to create that logical link. It's active learning at its best.
Now this is the real-life connection. This is the aha moment. Students see a sentence pulled directly from a real academic paper, and suddenly it's not a classroom exercise anymore. They are seeing this exact skill being used in the wild, in the very kind of writing they are trying to master. It makes it all so relevant.
And finally, the challenge. Now it's the student's turn to produce something. They have to apply this new skill to their own life. This step is all about creativity and really internalizing the concept. It solidifies the learning because they have to take ownership of the grammar to express their own ideas.
So when you put all these pieces together, you can start to see this powerful formula for engagement taking shape. It becomes really clear why this whole approach is so incredibly effective for today's learners.
The secret isn't just one of these things, it's the combination of all of them. The visual metaphors make complicated ideas easy to get. The hands-on practice makes the skills usable. The real-world connection makes it all feel relevant. And that structured, repeatable format, it builds confidence with every single lesson. That's the formula.
And that brings us to one last big idea. This model, concept, practice, connection, challenge, it's an incredibly powerful way to teach any complex skill, not just language. So just think about it for a second. How could you use this same structured approach to unlock understanding in other fields, like coding or math or even philosophy? It's a pretty interesting question and definitely one worth thinking about.